First tonight on News 3, crews work for hours to restore 911 services to several Wisconsin counties.
Plus, Dane County is one of a handful across the state to receive funding for a new meth lab storage facility.
And later, making a difference 2,000 miles away. A local group's potentially life-saving journey straight ahead.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. 911 services are back up and running in southern Wisconsin.
4 counties went about 6 hours without a direct emergency line today. Amy Reed talked with the company in charge of the phone line, who said they got to work immediately to solve the problem.
This all started about noon today. Calls here to the dispatch center had to be made through the non-emergency line because the 911 line was down. The company Frontier Communication, that is in charge of the line, said a third-party contractor doing work for another company accidentally hit the fiber optic line that carries 911 calls and internet to Columbia and the surrounding counties. This knocked out those services for Adams, Columbia, Juneau, and Marquette counties. Frontier said they got crews on it right away. They were able to get the line repaired by just after 6 p.m. tonight. A spokesman for the company said he was sorry for the disruption.
We thank our customers and the communities we serve for their patience as our team works to restore service as quickly and as safely as possible.
Now services should be back up and running for all 4 counties. We asked dispatchers here if they saw any change in the response time or the amount of calls they got while this was going on, but they said that they couldn't say. Reporting in Portage, Amy Reed, WISC News 3.
Crews are working to fix a weather siren on the south side after it malfunctioned several times this morning. The siren near South High Point Road and Midtown Road activated around 5 o'clock and intermittently turned on and off for about an hour and a half. Officials say the problem was with the control box on that specific siren.
A hurricane in the Pacific Ocean is continuing to move in the direction of the Hawaiian Islands. Hurricane Hector is now a Category 4 storm. The center of the storm is expected to pass by the islands Wednesday afternoon. And let's get a check at our weather now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is in with your first alert forecast. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Keela. Yeah, talking about Hector, it is still a Category 4 storm, very powerful with max winds of about 155 miles per hour. Min-central pressure of 936 millibars, moving west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. Still expected to be a Category 4 storm, maybe down to 3 as it passes just south of the Hawaiian Islands and then weakens a little bit as it continues to move west. Nothing like that for southern Wisconsin. We're looking at the showers weakening, however, and dissipating over the past couple of hours. We don't need to worry about rain overnight, but maybe some fog could be with us with things still pretty humid outside. We are seeing partly cloudy skies in Madison with temperatures in the upper 60s and some other temperatures. We're at 70 in Mineral Point, 71 in Monroe, and 67 in Viroqua. Dew points still pretty high, so with those high dew points, we're looking at possibly some areas of fog forming overnight and into early Tuesday morning. Then some showers and thunderstorms possible with highs in the upper 70s. We'll time out those showers plus talk about some sunshine on the way in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Officials from We Energies say work will be done tomorrow to repair a leak that contributed to the half-mile evacuation in Sun Prairie Friday night. The fire department says 2 natural leaks were repaired that night before residents were given the all clear to return to their homes. What's being repaired tomorrow is a third separate leak that released what's called a chemical odorant. While it is harmless, it's added to natural gas to give it a detectable smell. After a shooting at WORT radio station yesterday morning, police are saying this was not an attack on the media.
The board president and police believe this was a targeted attack, but still aren't sure why. After the scary situation over the weekend, the board president says he's looking into security improvements. He wants to add new cameras to record the front and back of the building, as well as give staff individual key cards. He says it's a miracle no one was severely injured or even killed.
And I was stunned. I was shocked. It was like, I've heard about this happening in other places, even in this community there's been shootings, but to have it happen in your organization to people you know is really deeply troubling.
David also said when this happened, they were in the middle of doing a show change. He says whoever the shooter was knew this change was happening and seized the opportunity to get in at the right time.
It was a bad few days for the city of Chicago. Police there say at least 70 people were shot during one of the city's most violent weekends on record. At least 11 were killed. Police pointed out that despite the weekend violence, murders in the city are down 25% so far this year, and shootings are down 30%. New tonight, a federal agency is providing special containers to help some law enforcement agencies clean up meth labs.
And the Dane County Sheriff's Department is one of the 6 recipients.
This is becoming more and more common type of drug.
There isn't a part of the state that isn't touched by meth use.
We're seeing these mobile labs in cars and houses and apartment buildings.
Dane County Sheriff's Lieutenant Brian Hayes says cleaning up one of those labs is especially difficult.
It's such a community hazard, a community threat.
For each pound of methamphetamine produced, 5 to 6 pounds of hazardous waste is generated. The average cost to clean it up is $3,000, and waiting for a specialized company to arrive to handle the materials can take days.
We usually find these at inopportune times, the middle of the night, early in the morning, and it's such a public safety issue that we need to get it contained and collected and under control as quickly as we can.
On Monday, Wisconsin Attorney General Brad Schimmel announced 6 mobile meth storage containers would be placed across the state, including at the Dane County Sheriff's Department, cutting down on time and cost by 90% for Hayes and his team.
It's unfortunate that we have to have this type of facility for meth labs, but it's the reality.
The storage unit allows Dane County Sheriff's officials to safely store the chemical materials themselves before it's picked up and disposed of. And with the problem widespread, the use of the container will be too.
The city of Madison, Rock County, Columbia County is kind of how I envision it. It's just a local asset.
2 Dane County Sheriff's deputies will get special training on how to handle the chemicals. For a list of all the recipients, go to channel3000.com.
An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow after a body was pulled from the Rock River in Janesville. Someone was walking along the river and reported the body near the Central Way Street Bridge this afternoon. Police believe the man is about 65 years old. As of this afternoon, there weren't any reports of missing or endangered people in the area. A wildfire still burning in Northern California has now become the largest the state has ever seen, scorching more than 283,000 acres. Strong winds and high temperatures are making the Mendocino complex fire hard to stop. At least 15 other big fires are burning in California. 44,000 people have evacuated, and a record 14,000 firefighters are on the front lines.
Incredible video today from Italy. A tanker truck carrying flammable material exploded on a highway near the city of Bologna. Traffic footage appears to show the tanker colliding with a line of vehicles and explode. That same footage also showed a second, larger explosion resulting from the same crash. At least 2 people were killed. Up to 70 others were injured as a section of the thoroughfare collapsed. A La Crosse high school is implementing a clear backpack policy. Starting September 4th, Central High School students won't be able to bring their backpack into class unless it's clear. Now, they'll still be able to carry regular backpacks if they keep it in their lockers. Central is the 2nd school in the district to implement this rule.
Wisconsin's newest Supreme Court justice is sworn in today. Judge Rebecca Dallett won an election in April to serve a 10-year term on the bench. Dallett replaces Justice Michael Gableman, who decided against seeking a second term. Still to come tonight, there are more chances for thunderstorms in the coming days. Dave will have the full forecast in a few minutes.
But first, a local group on a life-changing mission 2,000 miles away. Don't miss the News 3 exclusive next at 10.
Welcome back. Living between two lakes and in a country where it's the norm to have multiple sources of clean water in your own home, it's hard to imagine the struggle millions of people around the world face every day.
Only on News 3, photojournalists Mark Schilling and Christina Laurie share the struggle of those in Honduras and how volunteers from the Madison area are making a difference in their lives forever.
We know that when people see Americans coming, it's something great is going to happen.
From Mount Horeb to Honduras, volunteers from local churches are making a 2,000-mile trip to do something good for people they've never met.
Casa es agua.
And I see how the people are united.
Where the water is fresh and clean.
In less than 1 week, the group, together with Living Water International, will build a well, the lifeline a community needs to live. People here in the town of El Triangulo have water.
The problem is, it's not clean water. That's the biggest problem. It's not clean water.
For generations, they've been drinking water from a reservoir in the mountains. It's runoff water, though, sometimes contaminated, oftentimes leaving people in the village sick.
Germs is all over. So if they learn to keep their hand clean, it helps them to get sick that much.
With a new well, the 30 families living in El Triangulo will have access to clean water to drink and to clean themselves.
It hit me how far we'd have to go to get water.
Buenos dias. Many of the Madison area volunteers on this trip, like Beth Wittenweiler, are on a repeat mission.
Gracias, buenos dias.
Beth's been involved for 8 years.
And then you start thinking, well, how often do we use water? And that the conveniences that we have.
These trips remind volunteers how good we have it in America.
If it was only our staff in Honduras, maybe we wouldn't see that many people getting close to the rig. But when they see Americans, they know something good is coming for the community.
After 4 days of digging, drilling, and dedicating dozens of hours to making a difference,
Hard-working man right there.
the well is finished.
Good. And when you see the emotion of the people when you finish the project and you see water flowing, is what it changed your life. It changed your life.
For Hondurans like Nugget, faith runs as deep as his community's new 70-foot well.
God has been with us all these years. He has never left us.
And faith-filled Madison area volunteers agree.
And so we just thought, well, this is simple. Let's just go and put in some clean water wells. One at a time. What a difference that could make, one at a time. And then it just hit me. This could really change the world.
Donning his Badger cap, John Schmidt, volunteer coordinator with Living Water International, leads the dedication ceremony, officially presenting the new well to the village.
We may not communicate very well in our English and Spanish.
Quizás no nos comunicamos tan muy bien entre español e inglés.
We're working on it.
Pero estamos trabajando en eso.
Un poquito. But the love that you've shown us
Pero el amor que ustedes nos han mostrado a nosotros
doesn't require words.
son mucho más que palabras.
It's on your face.
Está en sus caras.
You share your children with us.
Han compartido sus hijos con nosotros.
We work alongside you.
Hemos trabajado a la par de ustedes.
That's the way God's kingdom should be.
These Americans from Mount Horeb and their new Honduran friends know this may be the last time they ever see each other, going back to their separate lives 2,000 miles apart.
But we know we'll walk together with our Lord.
Pero sabemos que caminamos juntamente con el Señor.
And I'll know all of your names then.
Y sé todos sus nombres.
Thank you all very, very much.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Our photojournalist Mark Schilling was one of the volunteers on that Living Water International mission trip.
An amazing story. Volunteers from his church and others in the Madison area are already planning future missions. They'll head to El Salvador next fall.
Well, switching over to weather now, Dave Caulfield, and a little all over the place.
Yeah, with this weather today and over the last couple of days, lots of rain has fallen in some spots. Incredible amounts over northeastern Iowa. Radar estimates about 5 to 6 inches in some spots. It's all because of that low pressure system and warm front and stationary front. These storms were just riding along that front and dropping pretty substantial amounts of rain. The humidity is still with us, but we're watching that cold front just to our north. It will come through tomorrow and spark off some additional showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon and evening hours of Tuesday. Right now, though, Doppler track is quiet. We're just watching some showers dwindling across the state of Minnesota, but for Wisconsin, not really much left over from earlier storms and showers, so we'll be quiet tonight. However, some fog is definitely possible with that humidity staying here, that mugginess not really going anywhere anytime soon. And as I mentioned, just some incredible rain totals, at least estimated by radar locally, 5 to 6 inches closer to Dubuque and into Prairie du Chien. A little bit less as you head to the north and east. Madison picking up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in spots. And at the airport, we're already over 1 inch of rain to start August. Only the 3rd of the month was without rain, at least a trace of rain out of all of those days of the month of August so far. It's a pretty rainy start, and we could add to that total potentially into tomorrow. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, no rain right now and no fog showing up, but a little bit is possible overnight. Temperatures today in the upper 70s, a little bit below normal for this time of year, but we'll be above normal in temperature land going forward, with the exception of tomorrow where we're still in the upper 70s, but highs will make a run at 90 degrees by the time we get into next week. Tonight, temperatures falling into the low 60s, mostly cloudy with areas of fog developing. For tomorrow, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms mainly affecting us in the afternoon and evening. Some of our models are trying to hang on to those showers and thunderstorms into early Wednesday morning. We'll keep an eye out for that, but we're definitely going to need the umbrella for the, I was going to say later portions of Tuesday and possibly into early Wednesday. Future track, this last model run, really not optimistic about those rain chances, but we do have that chance in there. And any showers or storms that do form, what this is telling us is they do have the potential of some more heavy downpours embedded in those showers. So we'll watch out for that. Definitely keep that umbrella at the ready. Wednesday, we should be dry. Thursday, a chance of rain comes back with us, but the weekend is looking very nice with highs in the mid-80s. A pretty nice summer weekend on tap for us. Then as we head into the start of next week, we'll be in the upper 80s, close to 90. It will feel like the mid to upper 90s, that humidity coming back, and also some chances for showers and storms as well.
More summer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Still to come, some players consider the preseason opener one of the most important games on the schedule. Kevin explains why next.
News 3.
The Badgers have only been practicing for 5 days, but with the veteran group returning on both sides of the ball, a lot of the starting roles are already set. But what about the supporting cast? Melissa Kim caught up with the coaches to find out who's next.
Well, it's pretty clear that Jonathan Taylor will be the guy in the backfield this season, but what about the guys behind him? I caught up with running backs coach John Settle about Chris James and Tywan Deal, both entering their final years and ready to fight for a spot.
Right now, those guys know, and I think you're right. They know this is my last go around. But from a mental standpoint, they're locked in, and physically, Chris James is one of the strongest guys on the team. So that's why I think if you talk to the offensive coaches, there's a lot of excitement.
Same goes on defense. Defensive coordinator Jim Leonard says it's a battle right now to see who will back up veterans like TJ Edwards and Chris Orr.
A number of guys are putting themselves in position. That's what this week has been all about. Can you put yourself in a position to fight for that role, especially when you got experience in front of you? You got TJ, you got Ryan, where Chris Orr, a lot of experience. Who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be the next 2 or 3 guys? That's kind of every position right now.
Still a pretty lengthy list of guys out after practice number 5 in this fall camp. 8 of them out, all with leg injuries. But Isaiah Loudermilk, he's expected to hopefully start in that season opener on August 31st when the Badgers host Western Kentucky. At Camp Randall, Melissa Kim, News 3 Sports.
Melissa, thank you. Preseason football games definitely count if you're a backup, especially a backup quarterback. Brett Hundley and newly acquired Deshaun Kaiser are competing for the number 2 spot behind Aaron Rodgers. Remember what happened last year. So they're pushing to get better and competing for a job, maybe a job that's with another team in case they run out of lockers at Lambeau. Either way, playing time's valuable for backup quarterbacks whenever they can get it.
When you look at preseason, this is when guys, have a chance to make a team, increase their value, especially for quarterbacks, especially when you're playing behind Aaron Rodgers, because the goal is for you not to play all year, and these opportunities are so important for both those guys.
Offensive coordinator Joe Philbin, defensive coordinator Mike Pettin, and a handful of assistants all getting on the same page this offseason. But Thursday will be their first run at doing it in an actual game setting, so it won't be boring.
Family night, being on opposite sidelines, the substitutions, that's pretty close. But, as far as who's in the box and all those things, I mean, that job responsibility, and that's set. So, we'll get an opportunity to work Thursday night for the first time in the full capacity. But, yes, we've drilled it as best we can, get as close as we can to the game environment.
Brewers off tonight. Cubs in Kansas City. Javier Baez playing third base and playing it very well. Nicknamed El Mago. Don't Google it. It means the magician. That is why. Full extension and still robs Jorge Bonifacio at first base. Baez with a magic wand apparently as well. Swing and stroll. 25th home run of the season. Cubs lead right now 3-1 in the 9th. If they win, they'll be a game and a half up on the Crew in the NL Central. Come on back in 3 minutes. We're putting a bow on the show next.
Welcome back. Sunny weekend ahead, but some rain before then.
Yeah, we got to get there first, but a couple of rain chances will greet us tomorrow and on Thursday. Right now, though, no rain to worry about. Temperatures in the 60s and dew points pretty much the same. So some areas of fog possible as we start out Tuesday. Then temperatures should rise once again into the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms become a little bit more likely as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. And some of our models have been hanging on to those showers into early Wednesday, but much of the day on Wednesday should be dry. Some more rain chances come our way on Thursday, but the weekend is looking very nice. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures in the mid-80s.
All right, thank you, Dave, and thank you for joining us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.